Hi there, folks. It's Mandy from Kemp Freehold. And I got a lot to do. Fortunately, I'm very fortunate. I'm not complaining. Those tomatoes that I bought from Cisco, they are not really ripening. They're still hot, giant boulders that you could probably use in a slingshot. So I am going to cut these up, roast them in the oven to give them a little more flavor, help caramelize the sugar. And then I have no idea what's next. So stay tuned. You'll find out just when I do. After roasting the tomatoes, I use a stick blender to blend them. And then they're going to sit in my crock pot with the lid partially off so that the extra moisture can evaporate. Here's what it looks like the next morning. It's nice and thick. Almost all of the extra moisture has evaporated out. And I think what I'm going to do is dehydrate it so it takes up less space. These tomatoes aren't overly flavorful even with having roasted them. That's just the nature of the beast with those, I forget, ethylene dioxide or something. Anyway, they spray them with a chemical, a gas actually, and it ripens them technically, but not really. So the flavor is pretty yucky. I'm just going to make a powder out of this that I can add to soups and stews and things like that when I want a little shot of tomato. And that was what I did with those tomatoes that I bought. That whole box, other than what the kids ate in fresh, which wasn't a lot because, like I said, the tomatoes weren't very tasty. And that filled my smaller crock pot. I think it's 4 quarts. No, it's probably 6. 6-quart crock pot, maybe. Anyway, it didn't, it boiled down quite a bit. And there we go. If this sort of thing is of interest to you, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye. I took the tomato sauce and I have spread it onto parchment paper on top of my dehydrator trays. I'd eventually like to get the Silpats that are made for that, but I'm not going to do that right now. There are some chunks left in here. The stick blender did not do the best job, and I'm sure that was operator error. Really, the stick blender was not the best tool for the job, but somebody broke my blender canister, pitcher, doohickey, and then the food processor bucket was dirty and I was lazy, so I used the stick blender. It's on me. It's on me. Anyway, we'll see how this turns out. I suspect it'll take at least a day. So we'll see. That big bucket of pineapple made 2 trays for the dehydrator. I was going to make jam with it, but this is a lot faster, and my kids probably don't need the extra sugar in the jams. So they'll eat these as a snack. Here is the pineapple the next day, nice and crunchy. Once it cools off, I will put it into jars, and I'm sure the kids will devour it. And then here is the tomato sauce. So I'll be pulling that off and crunching it up and putting it into jars. I might try pulverizing it in my food processor, but we'll see. But it's all nice and crunchy. Almost looks burnt. It's not. It's just dark, very dark. And there we go. I still have some more stuff to get rid of, but like do with it, because I still have the containers of orange slices and yeah, 2 more things of orange slices, because of course the kids weren't eating them, because you know, you buy a lot of something, they refuse to eat it all of a sudden. As I'm trying to pull the tomato sauce off of the parchment paper, I'm having some trouble. The parchment paper is ripping, so I'm gonna have to be very careful pulling it off. I am definitely gonna order some Silpats, because this happened when I did the sweet potatoes also. So it's time to invest in some Silpats. I pureed the orange slices that came in these tubs, and I'm going to make what's that called? You know, orange jam stuff with a pulp in it. Marmalade. Yeah, the British love it. Anyway, I'm going to make that, but not today. It's sunny out, so we're going to plant and stuff. But I will make marmalade out of this later this week. It's supposed to rain Wednesday and Thursday, so one of those days I'll do that.